Hello everyone, welcome back to another real estate video. Today I'm going to be answering many common questions that I get from people in terms of when do I talk to a realtor, when should I get pre-qualified, if I want to move in by this date, when do I start the entire home buying process. So we're going to break down each step for you step by step. And to help guide us through this whole process, I've created a little home buying planner. It's basically a worksheet that you'll find in the description box below. So if you'd like to click on that link and then print out the worksheet, and that way we can start filling it out together as we walk through each step, feel free to do so. If you're unable to print right now, feel free to have a pen and paper by your side so that you can, again, take notes as we go. All right, so with that being said, let's jump right into it. All right, so to start this whole entire home buying process, we're going to do something called backwards mapping. And backwards mapping is when you have the end in mind. So what month do you want to move into your new home buy? So if you take a look at the home buying planner, you can see number one, what month do you want to move into your home buy? So when you're thinking about this month, keep in mind that there is a clear distinction between the month you move in and your first mortgage payment. So usually your first mortgage payment is due 2 months after your closing date. So it doesn't matter if you close on the first of the month or in the middle of the month, it will always be 2 months after is when your first mortgage payment is due. So for example, if you close on September 1st, your first mortgage payment will be November 1st. If you close September 20th, then your first mortgage payment will not be due until, again, November 1st. So if your lease ends in September and you want to move into a new home in September, that's just going to make things tight. So your lease ends in September, then you may want to move in by maybe August, a little bit earlier, since your first payment won't be due until October 1st. So it gives you a little bit of leeway there, and maybe that might work better for you and give you more time to move into your new place. So know your situation, but keep in mind that your first payment isn't due until 2 months later. All right, so for our example here, we are going to say our move-in date is September. So on that line, I would write September. That means that your close of escrow will also fall in September. The close of escrow is the day that you officially take title. Now, when you buy a house, there isn't a specific move-in date, like if you were renting a place. So if you take title, you essentially can move in whenever you want. If it takes a few weeks to settle in, then that is totally fine. It is your house. You can do whatever you want. You just don't want the house to sit vacant for very long, because if anything were to happen to the house, it'll be you as the owner who would need to fix it or whatnot. So just something to keep in mind. All right, so if our move-in date is September, we are then going to determine our goal to be under contract by. So in order to determine this goal of when we should be under contract, we are going to subtract 1 month to 45 days. We'll just subtract 1 month in our example because it is easier. But the reason why I'm saying 45 days is because the more government assistance you get for your loan, the longer it usually takes to process. So in our example, we will just need we will need our house under contract by August. And what does that mean? When you're looking for a house, we are going to be putting in offers. You can put in as many offers as you want, but the ultimate goal is to get your offer accepted, which is a lot more difficult. So knowing that you need a house under contract by a certain date is important. If you're not under contract by August, in this example, then you can just push back your move-in date to October. So being under contract will influence that move-in date. So that's just, again, something to keep in mind. All right, so number 3, if you look onto your home buying planner, number 3 is when should you begin house hunting? Now, here's something that's very important. If you think that you're a picky buyer, then you're going to subtract 2 months. And this is someone, and I wrote here, this is someone who has looked online, but it's very difficult for you to find homes that you like or homes that catch your eye. So if you're someone who has been browsing the internet a lot and you are finding many houses that interest you, then just subtract 1 month. So for our example, we are going to be savvy buyers. That's what we're going to call ourselves. So we'll just subtract 1 month and we'll start house hunting by July. We don't want to start house hunting too soon, because if you find a house that you like and you put in an offer and the offer gets accepted, it ends up pushing all your other deadlines sooner as well. So you want to make sure that if you do find a house, it works for your schedule. So you want to keep in mind that if you find a house that you like within the first 2 weeks, does it work for you? Now, finding a home within 2 weeks of beginning your house search is not very common, but it's something that you want to keep in mind and make sure that it still would work for you. All right, so remember, we're backwards mapping here to find when do we begin this entire process. So if we take a look at the home buying planner, you're going to see that we're at number 4. And for number 4, we're going to try to determine the deadline to have your full pre-qualification letter and your realtor and your lender all picked out and hired. So if you need to be house hunting by July, which is our example, you're then going to want to subtract 2 weeks from that. So if you want to begin looking for homes in mid-July, then you're going to need to have your team together by the beginning of July. Or if you want to start looking for homes by the beginning of July, then you'll need to be getting your team together by mid-June. So if you find a realtor you like, they can refer you to a lender, or you can find your own lender. And you want to talk with them about, getting a pre-qualification lender. You want to make sure you understand, your monthly payments that you're pre-qualifying for and what your purchase price is, so that you're fully prepared and ready to go. Now keep in mind, this step is assuming that you do get pre-qualified for a loan. So if needed, you add whatever time you need to maybe fix credit or fix your debt to income ratio, or just fix your job stability. So if you believe that any of these areas needs to be improved, you talk to your lender sooner than 2 weeks before house hunting. Because maybe it might take 6 months to even a year to get ready, to get your finances in order, because these areas do take time, and a professional will be able to help you kind of establish a system and get these areas improved sooner. All right, so for the last step in our backwards mapping process, if you take a look at the sheet, it says our start date. We need to determine our start date to begin casually researching the market, researching our real estate agent, and researching lenders that are out there. So this should be about 1 to 6 months before you are ready for pre-qualification. And again, this time is spent on researching neighborhoods that you might like, really looking into different agents and researching the lenders out there. I always encourage to give yourself more time here, even more than 6 months, just so you're fully prepared and knowledgeable of what you're looking for in this experience. Because the more time that you spend window shopping or researching people that you'll be working with, the better experience that you will have. So subtract 1 to 6 months from your month for number 4, and that will give you the time when you should start the entire process. But again, this window shopping phase, this researching phase, it's never too early to begin gaining knowledge and kind of browsing the internet a little bit to see what is out there for you. Like I said before, this planner worksheet is provided for you down in the description box below. I've given you the link. Just feel free to click on it, download it, and fill it out just to help you organize your thoughts a little bit. That is all I have for you today. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe and be on the lookout for my next video. Thank you so much for watching.